Poxy fucking stupid fucking bollocks fucking top chat. Who the fuck they think they are? Stupid swallowing fucking pieces of arse munching bollocks fucking complete cunt. Wow, the fucking stupid fucking piece of fucking total crap and fucking. Oh, the fuck's going on with all these people? What the fuck are they up to? Well, what was this video about? I was going to do something. I was better. I've totally forgotten now. Yeah, I hate these people. What are they doing to this place? The thing is, right? It's it's all one strange, weird place, right? It's all the same. You know, I was walking around today. Was it yesterday? No, it was yesterday. Yeah, I was walking around yesterday, and I saw no one. But I did see someone selling cheese. There was someone selling cheese, and they had loads of different types of cheese. It was like in the marketplace. This isn't the video I was going to make. The video I was going to make was something completely different. It wasn't about cheese at all. How come I'm talking about cheese? How do I keep making videos, right? One of the things I've noticed with YouTube is that I mean, I say divide and conquer. People are going to think, oh, divide and conquer. It's one of those videos. I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing. I feel like my mind has been divided and conquered, and I'm talking about now. I want to talk about how great it is to be divided and conquered, and I've got a niche video now. My channel is a niche video, a niche channel. Nobody watches it, so it's like I've got like a place. Where I'm on my own, apart from a few viewers, you know, a handful of viewers. You're a privileged handful. You know, you people. You're like the emperor's close associates. You know, you're my good friends. You know, you're the people that when the empire falls and someone has to stab me in the back, it'll be one of you lot. You know. So what I'd really like, my 3 wishes, right? Yeah. What I really like, one thing is somewhere where I could just live, right? Where, you know, life is simple. You know, we can just grow some vegetables, keep some chickens, keep a few goats, and make something, you know. Okay, but the thing is, we know what happens with this sort of thing. We get raided by bandits. You know, they steal our goats, you know, and eat all our food and stuff, rape our women and take over, and then they can't handle it, and then it all just goes to shit. So what's the answer? I mean, maybe there's loads of answers. One of the answers I like the sound of is astrology. You know, people should only have children at certain times, according to astrology. We need to follow astrology, right? And everybody needs to only have children at the right times. So you're going to have nice children with good astrology, right? And it doesn't work 100%, but it works like maybe 70, 80%, you know. It's quite a good system. So most of the time, and you can pretty much make sure you're not going to have anyone that's born at really bad times. Although you're bound to get a few people that are going to eventually, just go against the rule, because it's the rule. That's what people do. Eventually, it will go wrong. But you could maybe get 1,500 years out of it. That's what I reckon. Get the system going and trying to sort of like up, keep it going. What we need to do is this is the way we need to do it. We need to think of the good generation. Okay, you're going to get a bad generation. Try and find out when the bad generation is going to go. And then get the good generation to sort of like find ways to overcome the bad generation and get through to the next good generation and sort of like cut them off. Find ways to sort of like, eradicate them. Or at least sort of contain them, so that we can have a good time. Or otherwise, what's the point of it, Okay. Maybe the point of it is to just sort of like have something to aim at, so that I can make videos. If everything was sorted out, right, there's no point in making videos, would there? It'd just be pointless. I'll just be wasting my time. There's nobody to talk to. If everybody's already converted, I just preach into converted. What's the point of that? Okay. Okay, so that's interesting. So a lot of the point of my videos now, the reason I'm heading in this certain direction is because it's all been laid out like that. So I'm basically just a fall guy. I'm the fall guy. That's another reason why I called myself Rank Emperor, because it's like I'm the fall guy. I already knew that. That's why I knew that before I made my YouTube channel. And I know I'm the fall guy. So why not call myself Rank Emperor, just for a laugh, Yeah, dear. So as far as I can tell, tell me why you people are not empty vessels. Explain to me why you're not empty vessels. That was quick. Well, that's very clever, Mind Ray Part. You bloody you basically stumped me there. How long was this video for? 8 minutes. The moment I expected a response, you instantly come up with a response. That was just like, if you're working on intuitional levels, you've got your intuition working, or otherwise you're Agent Smith, in person. Let me just think, right? It's got to be one or the other, hasn't it? So I think your intuition is working more or less at least 90%, or you're Agent Smith. I don't suppose it really matters. It doesn't make any difference, really, when I think about it. Like, why should I bother trying to make a difference between those two things? But anyway, to me, it was very coincidental. It's very Chironic. Chiron, the god of time and coincidence, has basically stamped his seal on this moment, which is great, because that's what I was hoping for this video anyway. Oh, Agent Smith, you're Agent Smith. Good. That's exactly what Agent Smith would have said. Oh dear. See, I would be the same. I would say I'm not Agent Smith, but the thing is, I've got the glasses, the red light. I seem very plausible because I'm talking against the Matrix, you know. It's like how Agent Smith talks against humans, you know. It's like, oh, humans are like a virus, you know. I do that. I talk about that all the time. I'm kind of like Agent Smith, you know. I hate to admit it, but you know, it just basically it's like I can't really argue against it. It's like if you're going to use the argument against me, I'm sure most people would. I'm basically like Agent Smith, aren't I? You know, that's what I do. I'm the bad guy. Ah, oh dear. What a letdown. It's like, you know, you go through all these years, you know, trying to do the best you can, trying to be some sort of hero in life and that. And then eventually, after sort of so many years of struggle and toil and heart bleeding and stuff, you know, you find out that you're actually the bad guy, the guy that you was actually trying to get rid of, you know. That's you. That's me. You know, it's like, what? It's not fair. It's not fair. I know. This is not what I signed up for. This, you know, I remember when I come here before I entered the human body. You know, in my spirit, I've still got memories, and I didn't want to come here, and I just feel like I've been totally let down. I don't know how it happened that I got funneled into this place. You know, it's like I was in this dead end place. You know, and there was nowhere for me to go except into this lifetime. And now I'm here, I just feel like, well, why did I come here? It's just exactly what I thought it would be. This is exactly the reason why I didn't want to come here, because it just makes me look stupid and an idiot. And on the other hand, I know I'm intelligent. It's like I can't make any sense out of anything, you know. And I hate everyone. I don't want to hate everyone. I don't feel like I've got any choice. Uh, Okay, I'm gonna have to make a smoke. Okay, nice to see you, Mind Ray Bart. Um, I'm going to read your comments in a minute, but I just got to make a quick smoke. Uh, anyway, now you're here. Yeah, in my last video, if you just want to pause this video or my last video, if you could watch that, I've just done these pranayama exercises. So I hope you noticed them and I hope you watched them, because it's like they're pretty cool. That's what I think, anyway. Ah. Where's my stuff? Yeah. Yes, go to 3 or 4 minutes in the future. Go back and watch the beginning of go watch my last video, and then come back to this video. So I've noticed certain nutrition that I've been eating, and um, so it's like I don't want to eat certain food sometimes, but when I do, uh, later on, a few hours later, I noticed the nutrition affecting the way my brain works, and I can have much more interesting thoughts and um, think more clearly about things. It doesn't want to stay there, does it? That's it. That's about all right. See, what I found, certain things, well, a lot of things actually, they have different qualities. A lot of things have different qualities, and it's sometimes you want the best quality, right? But sometimes you doesn't matter about the best quality. You just want a sort of medium quality, or sometimes it doesn't really matter what quality you have in terms of like price. Sometimes a very low quality is just as good as a very high quality, or at least a lot better in terms of how much money you have to pay, depending on how much money you've got available. So, for example, if you can buy something that's going to last 1,000 years, but you're only going to need it for like say 20 years, you might as well buy something that's going to last you only 20 years and costs like 10 times less money if you're only going to need it for 20 years. So, although technically, if you bought it to last something that's going to last 1,000 years, and it only costs 5 times as much money, say, but it can last you 20 times or 50 times more time, then that's how you get economies evolved. That's why some people will work for peanuts and other people will only work for like a lot of money. Now, about the work, about doing the work. So it seems that a certain amount of it is understanding how to get the most value out of things. And how to get the most value out of things is how to value things to start with. You know, how do you value things? How do you value stuff? Now, it seems to me that the more value you can ascribe to things accurately, then the more value you have as a valuer. And the more value you have as a valuer, the more value you can ascribe to yourself. So that's how the work works. You learn to value stuff accurately, right? Because you have more knowledge and understanding, and you're able to work more efficiently and think more efficiently, right? So you can value things more efficiently. Therefore, you know, you become more valuable yourself because you're able to value things more efficiently. You are a player, you know. Okay, so what you people can do when you watch these videos, right, is you can pass them on to other people, or you can make your own videos that are copying my ideas. Oh dear. No, where's my little thing? Oh. There it is. There we go. It's on the floor. See, I found I can't trust people, you know. I wonder if my robot is actually going to watch that video that I made. That would be great if he has. Like, I'll wait for him if he has. You know, he's a great guy. He's a real sport. He's been following lots of my videos. You know. I mean, even if he's working for the CIA, it doesn't matter. It's still fun, you know. I kind of respect that, you know. If there's anything, the thing is, right, if it's a huge compliment for me. If actually my videos are worth watching and the CIA or the FBI or whatever, if you've got a few operatives tailing me and they've got rid of all the any sort of competition. Oh dear. That's all I can really expect, really, you know. With all the sort of like the way that dentists work, all the signs are there, you know. the school system. It's like it's a closed system, you know. I'm preaching to the converted already. And what can you do? I mean, you're working for the man. And who is this man? You know, it's like the guy in the Yellow Brick Road. He's like the guy hiding behind the curtain, you know. But he's got maybe like a few extra curtains, you know, and they're like big scary sort of scenes that frighten you, you know. But they've only let the certain people through that would like play the game, you know. If you don't play the game, you can't come through the barrier. You can't go through to the next level. I mean, as far as I see, it's all a con. Oh, hello, Snowy. Yeah, it's like I don't know whether I can't imagine what real people are. That's what it is. I can't imagine what real people are. I don't know what it means. It's like my brain is trying to splat into sort of like splat, you know. It wants to sort of like disintegrate into sort of like just, you know, what's that word? Entropy, you know, just nothingness. I mean, thinking about, you know, women and the possibility of having children and stuff, and it's like, well, the world, maybe the world, all it's got. This is the crux of the thing, right? It's nice to see you, Snowy. Sorry, I nearly said HRC. I'm so used to seeing HRC here. It's unusual to see you, Snowy, if you're still watching. Anyway, I mean, thinking about what it means to have children, and when there's so, what it is, right? What if the only options we've got is to have more children? You know, even though the world is full of idiots, right? The only proper work that you can do, the real work, comes down to having children. You know, you have to pass on your DNA and your thoughts and your experiences to have children. You know, I mean, like people like me and HRC and you, Snowy, and Mine Ray Park, we've still got the potential to have children, in theory. You know, I'm thinking that may be the work. What it comes down to eventually is that we have to have children. You've got to like engage with these women and like mate with them and have children. Doesn't matter what sort of women they are, really. Just like you have to have children, and sort of like educate them properly, and do the best you can. And it sounds terrible. I'm really frightened of it. I hate the idea myself, dear. But it's just like, what else is there? What if there's no other no other options? What what if there's no heaven after you die? What if it all depends on having children? Your heaven depends on your offspring. You carrying on your life force and sort of like keeping it in the future. That's what makes your heaven. The only way you could go to heaven is if you have enough children to keep the human race going. We have to go off into space and colonate other life star systems and stuff. So it's like I might have to totally change my tune. I'm not. I don't know anything. So I just think maybe that's what has to happen. Okay, I'm just looking at your comments there, Snowy. When you say nasty women, I mean, do you think that all women are nasty, or it's like maybe they are. As someone said to me once, no matter how beautiful the woman or how beautiful the pussy is, they all turn into cunts eventually. They're always cunts eventually. It's interesting. The guy, the Chinese guy who done Falun Gong, he come up with this idea that all women are yin on the outside and yin on the inside, but men are yang on the outside and yang on the inside. So what does that mean? I think it means that it's like the meeting of men and women is always going to be a mystery. It's not something you can't get your left brain to sort of like understand it. Like they can't understand it. We can't understand it, and it's the will of heaven. There's Chinese knowledge that talks about this. There's no complete knowledge. You can't have complete knowledge about it all. You can't understand it completely. So there's no point trying in a lot of ways. You just have to sort of like stand back at a certain point. You can't get to the point where you understand everything. Right? That point doesn't exist. It's not in this universe. Maybe it's in heaven, but it's not in this universe. It doesn't exist. So you have to sort of like learn to stand back and understand that there is no final answer. Yeah, it's like I haven't really got any female friends at the moment. It's at the moment. To me, it's not really that big of an issue. Um, I mean, have you done ayahuasca, Snowy? For example, have you done ayahuasca? And if not, why haven't you done it? You know, um, I don't expect you to answer me. It's a question for yourself. If you've got problems like that, or if you've got issues like that, it's like, why aren't you dealing with them? The whole point of doing the work is to deal with your issues, deal with the stuff. Maybe you haven't got issues. Maybe I'm just imagining stuff. Do excuse me if I'm like sort of like going into areas where I shouldn't be going into. But the point of the work is that I'm thinking of this idea of doing the work as an encounter group. Doing it as an encounter group. So the whole point of it is to upset people, and sort of like push their buttons and make them have an emotional reaction, and then when they do, we can sort of like talk about it, and say, look, why are you having an emotional reaction, Snowy, or rank emperor, because then once you go through the process of dealing with your emotions, people can help you then get to your life goals, your dreams. You realize your dreams. I mean, that would also seem to be part of doing the work. You want to realize your dreams. You want to sort of get to where you want to get to. That's what I mean. Why else would you do the work? What's the point of doing work if you don't want to, make it get to where you want to get to? Fulfill your dreams and your destiny and that. See, I can interpret that, Snorri, as two different ways. One, that you're like totally together, and you're really on the ball and in tune with nature and stuff. And I've got nothing to doubt that. I don't know. I don't see any videos that you've made that would put me in the wrong direction. You seem to be like a really straight up guy. On the other hand, I can look at that. This is the problem I have with the written word, right? I can look at your post there, and it says, "Nope, never smoked hemp. I'm friendly with most people," but most people are deceived, as far as I'm concerned. They're deceived. So if you're friendly with most people, that would imply that you're another Agent Smith, and you've missed the point. You basically are seeing that because you're friendly with most people, that makes you a good guy. Whereas most people ignore the fact, for example, that cannabis is illegal and it cures cancer. So you really should know, if you're doing the work, you should know not to make statements like that, that would imply that you're looking at things in a left brain way, a very predominantly left brain way. I would suggest that you maybe try Gotu Kola and Brahmi, Bacopa Monnieri, and Asiatica Centella Asiatica, or Gotu Kola, because they balance your left and right brain. If you don't want to take things like cannabis, you could also take instead Centrella Asiatica or Gotu Kola and Brahmi, or it's also called, the Latin name is Bacopa Monnieri. Now, if you take both of them, it will balance your left and right brain. Now, you probably think you don't need that. Oh, I'm thinking really clearly. I really know what I'm doing, and I'm thinking really clearly and stuff. These have been used in Indian medicine for thousands of years, or over 1,000 years, and nearly everybody thinks that they're thinking clearly, and they're not. Okay, that's the bottom line. Everybody thinks they're thinking clearly, and they're not. They're just simply not thinking clearly. If you take Gotu Kola, I'm going to take them now just to make sure. Where are they? Here we go. Bacopa Monnieri. Gotu Kola. Oh, I haven't seen that for a while. So anyway, I don't take them that often, but I've got them here. Gotu Kola. I'm going to take 2. And there's Bacopa Monnieri. I'm going to take 2 of these as well. Because I can take them for, I can, oh, hi, my way out. Yeah, Gotu Kola is pretty cool. It's one of the herbs that that Chinese guy who lived for 252 years. He took Gotu Kola. And He Shall Wu and ginseng and schizandra. I think cordyceps. Reishi. A couple of other herbs. I forgot what they are, Why would I want to live to 250 years? Because I want to see what all these stupid people come up with. For example, bad way. Have you actually done what's it called? Future life progressions. Have you done future life progressions? Now, a lot of people have done past life regressions. Okay, so a lot of people have done past life regressions. Myself, I've done past life regressions. I can remember being born. I can remember before I was born, but I haven't got a complete memory of all my existence. And but I have done future life progressions, and in the future, I see that the world becomes a better place. You know, there's much less people. There's much more forests. All the trees sort of grow back. You know, and in 200 years' time or so, the trees are growing back. There's much less people, and we all live in a much more harmonious sort of life way of living. You know, this horror that we live in now is going to end soon. You know, a lot of people are going to die off. Oh yeah, I don't know that person. If that's a website or a YouTube channel, I don't know that person. I mean, I don't know if my future life progressions are real, if they make sense, if they're really going to happen or not. But it keeps me going, you know. It's one of those things that I just think it's sort of like when everything looks shit, I just think maybe all the fact that people don't take people like me seriously is a good thing, because all the government's shitty stuff that they're poisoning the atmosphere with chemtrails and poisoning the water with fluoride and giving people antibiotics and destroying their immune system. Maybe it's a good thing, you know. I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe they need to get rid of, because they won't. They keep sort of like giving their power to the worst, the most evil people, you know. So maybe they need to be wiped out. And my views of the future are when everybody's wiped out and there's only a few 100 million people on the planet. That's probably a good thing, you know. I mean, scientists reckon that we got by on 200 people. There was only 200 humans about 3 or 4 million years ago. Was it 2 million years ago or something? 200,000 years ago? I don't know. It was like 200,000 years ago or 2 million years ago. There was only about 200 humans on the planet in Africa, and we all come from them. Or mostly, you know. So does it matter that if we get knocked down to say 500,000, you know, if we get knocked down to 500,000, or even 100,000, you know, or even 20,000, that's still 1,000 more than there was, or 100 times more than there was, you know, 200,000 years ago. On the other hand, maybe we can, like, all this pressure of overpopulation and stuff, and all the knowledge being shared on the internet will get us to find ways to travel to other star systems quicker than light, you know. faster than light technology. That would be interesting. You know, as far as I'm concerned, what we need to do is we need to find some sort of harmony between keeping the world as a viable ecosystem and also learning how to look for ways of creating faster than light drives so we can travel to other star systems. But the only way we're going to do that is to stop dumbing people down. We can't do it all the time where we've got a school system that dumbs everyone down. Can we? You know, maybe there's a thing going on where because of the dumbing down school system, the only people that are going to succeed are the people that are sort of like conceived past it right from the beginning. They know that what's going on is we're at war. You know, we all need to sort of like wake up and understand that there's something going on that is bigger than we can possibly understand or we can see. Who knows what it is? I don't know what it is. They won't tell us what it is. It's like it's about ignorance. You know, we're being kept in the dark. Right, that's one possibility. On the other side of that is that it's the devil. It's the devil that wants to keep us in the dark. You know, why do we have to be kept ignorant? It's sort of like a two-edged sword. You know, how do you deal with this? How do you sort of like confront this dilemma? Either you stay ignorant and you just follow the system and you know, keep yourself dumbed down, or you do all the research you can possibly do and find out what's going on. It seems like you know, finding out what's going on, that's the only option. Otherwise, you know, it could be the devil. If it's not the devil that's controlling stuff, then your only option is to find out what's going on. Do as much research as you can do. And it seems like the research is there, you know, all the knowledge is there. You can do the research, so you've got no option except to do the research and become aware. Oh, well, that's interesting. Yeah, because I come up with these things and they weren't necessarily planned. I feel like now, oh yeah, that's like a definite thing. That's a real thing. It's like, yeah, you have to do the research. Now I understand that that's why you have to do it, because the only other option is to become ignorant. And that's no option. That would automatically go to the devil, the demon of ignorance. So the only option that you've got is to do research, to do the work. You know, that's why I do. That's why the whole point of my channel is to do the work. That's why it's called the work. You know, you have to do the work. It takes work. You have to put effort into it. Okay, I'm just going to give it a little bit of time for these herbs, this Bacopa monnieri and the Gotu Kola to sort of sink in. Yeah. Okay, thanks for all your comments, Badway. I can't. really follow them that clearly. Yeah, it's like with my videos, I can't always remember exactly what I've said. Maybe you was responding to things I was saying at certain times, and yeah, I'm kind of a shamanic sort of person, autistic spectrum, and my experience of time is and location is often different to most people's. Does that sound like an excuse? Meh. Yeah, I know there's a lag. Yeah, that's why your comments have to be kind of more long and explain what you're talking about more. You more like sort of like probably 2 sentences, more clearer, so that I can understand them in terms of like a self-contained question, rather than if you're referring to things that I've said on my video, and they're not clearly stated what you mean and what part of the video you mean. I can't always like follow what's going on, because I'm just not that together. I'm just trying to say that to you, so you don't have to waste your comments, because I see you've made quite a lot of comments. If you're having a good time, I don't mind. I'm having a good time, so that's interesting. Oh, you just reminded me of something. Okay, thanks, Badway. The devil. So I've had this idea for a long time, right? The devil. I got this. I think I got it from the film 100 Dalmatians, right? You know that film 100 Dalmatians, and then you've got the baddie is Cruella Deville, Cruella Deville. And what I got from that is that Deville in French means of town. Ville is town and de is of. So, and Cruella, cruel of town. It's like the devil, cruel of town. So I started. It made me think that the devil comes from the town. It's of town. The word means of town. Phonetically, that's what it means in French, of town. So the evil, the cruelness comes from people from the towns. The way that all the sort of like commerce works and the trade, and it creates crime. You get thieves, and there's all kinds of weird shit going on in towns, that doesn't happen in the country. In the country where people are farming, the lives are much more simple. Things are much more straightforward. It's when you have a town and you start getting a big town, and then you end up with like police and magistrates and judges and stuff, and then kings and armies and stuff, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and more complicated, and more and more evil, and more criminals and underworld and stuff, and drugs and alcohol and pestilence and vice and disease. It just goes on, you know. Oh dear. Okay, shall I carry on with this video? I mean, where am I going? How long are we going? Oh, I've got an hour. Okay, my mouse is still working, so I can probably carry on with this. Okay, bad way. You know, I'm in the south of England. It's a tiny little place. Whereabouts are you from? And when you talk about animals being abused, it's like that's a big place, you know. Whereabouts in the US? What state are you in? Okay. Anyway, so yeah, about animals being abused, right? I don't really understand it. You know, you've got the all the pesticides where they grow like corn and wheat and soy and stuff. All the pesticides are killing all these insects and rodents and stuff. So if you're talking about vegetarianism, because when you're talking about vegetarianism, it doesn't make sense to me. If you're talking about organic, then that makes, I understand organic as like not harming animals, you know, and but if you're talking about being vegetarian, you know, then it doesn't make sense to me. I don't. That's not harming animals. That's causing lots of harm, unless it's organic, you know. KY. Kansas. I don't know. KY. I don't know what that means. Yeah. Oh, Kentucky. Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Oh, that sounds like a nice place. I think of Kentucky Fried Chicken, but I know that's probably a really stupid thing to think of Kentucky. I'm thinking of uh, the no, I'm thinking of Dixie. You know, I'm thinking of Dixie, the Dixie flag. You know. white, you know, blonde white women, you know, with their arses hanging out of their underwear. That's what I think when I think of Kentucky, you know. But I'm just an English person, you know. Yeah. Yeah, sexy ones, yeah. Yeah. I sort of like, I can imagine, you know, I'd like to live there. I can imagine they got really nice food, really nice women, and it's probably sort of some kind of paradise for some people, you know. Oh dear. How long have I got? Is it only an hour? I feel like I've had enough now, you know. What was I talking about? What was this video about? Hang on a minute. Oh yeah, 3 wishes. Wasn't there 3 wishes? Um, right. So, what are you going to do with your 3 wishes? I mean, if you had 3 wishes, what are you going to do with them? You know, what would be your 3 wishes? Bearing in mind that you're all stupid. I mean, I'm stupid. I mean, nobody really understands how the world works and what is what are going to be the consequences of these 3 wishes? I mean, you might think, oh, I wish I had $100 billion, right? You know, and you get $100 billion, and it's like, now what are you going to do? It's like, I can buy anything I want, can't I? What we're going to do? Buy a cigar factory? You know, I don't know. What are you going to do with $100 billion, right? I can eat cake. You know, I can afford blood transfusions. You know, it's like, what are you going to do? Just imagine if you had $100 billion, right? And would you get bored? Is there any point in having that much money? You know, what's the point of having it? You know, what am I going to do with it? End world poverty? Oh, I could donate it to charity. You know, try and sort of feed the world, and then what? You feed them all, and then they're going to have more children, and then there's even more mouths to feed. Then what? You've run out of all your money. Now there's more people with even less food. You know. Ah dear. Ah, yeah, that's interesting, Monroe Pop. Now, that to me, that sounds like the whole point. That's the answer to the work, you know, kind of thing. It's like you do the work and it becomes a reward in itself, you know. The process is its own reward. The work is its own reward. Now that's really interesting, because that's kind of like, I mean, I don't know whether you intended me to sort of understand it like that, but that's how kind of I'm starting to see it. The work is its own reward. It's hard. It hurts. But it's rewarding. It's rewarding as much as it hurts. That's how much rewarding it is. So, and there's nothing else as efficient as doing the work in terms of how much reward you get. That's the whole point of the work. That's what it is. That's what I'm going to finish this video now, because